Here I'm making pork ribs, and I'm going to brown them in the frying pan first. And then I'm going to talk to you. While I'm doing this, I'm going to teach you about some things you may not have thought of that are, if you divorce, will definitely change in your life. I think not enough people understand that the consequences can be unexpected. There will be good things, but this conversation, as I tell you about cooking these ribs, is going to be about bad things or negative things that you may not be expecting or may not have thought of. So the first one I'd like to talk about is holidays. Your holidays will change, and it will be different to be traveling without your partner with your children. And that's okay too, but I want you to think of how it will be different. I want you to also think about who's going to hold the paperwork, and you can't leave the country without your child's other parent's permission until the age of 18. So you're going to need to know who's going to hold the passports and the birth certificates, and that you will be willing to switch time with each other and equally give permission to leave the country when the letter is required. Okay? So that's something that a lot of people don't think of. Also, I'd like you to think of holidays like Christmas and summer holidays as being shared, and sometimes you may not get the day, but like I always say to my clients, Christmas is 2 weeks. So if you don't get the actual day in alternating years, then you're going to have to be creative and think of it other ways. Maybe it could be Christmas Eve, Boxing Day, New Year's, those sorts of things. So I am browning these, but not cooking them all the way through, because I think that pork ribs are much better if they've been browned in a frying pan first. I'm also adding salt and pepper, and I'm just waiting for them to get a nice coating on them, crispy coating, before I put them into the crock pot. Some people cook these ribs by just putting them raw into the crock pot. I think it's better to brown them first. There's no oil in the pan. This is just a Teflon pan, and there's enough oil on these. There's enough fat on these ribs to create a little bit of oil to cook in. Okay? So the next thing I want to talk to you about is extended family. You know, when you've been married for a long time and you have kids, and the kids are close to their cousins and that sort of thing, it's a real difference when there's a separation or a divorce. And be prepared for family members on your side to likely feel loyal to you, and to the same way, family members on their side to likely feel loyal to them. I don't think it necessarily changes their opinion of you, but you may need to love them from afar. And I always hope that nieces and nephews get to keep all their aunties and uncles, but sometimes this can be complicated. So prepare yourself for the fact that your relationship with extended family on your partner's side will change, may change. And it's not a reflection of their perspective of you necessarily. Even if they are being told the wrong information, you kind of have to let go of that. And I help you to figure out these feelings and to have a code for yourself about behavior. One really great solution that many of my clients have tried is writing the extended family a letter, like cherishing the memories. This doesn't change anything for me. I hope you feel like you don't need to take sides, but if things are awkward for you, I understand. And I'll always cherish the memories, those sorts of things. So, and when you attend weddings for the extended family or graduations or whatever, then you're just going to sit where you're told to sit and enjoy it as much as you can, and be grateful that you were invited. So things change with that. Also, new people come in on the scene if you decide to separate and divorce. And that are new partners, maybe children that those partners have, maybe new children that are created. And so there's going to be extra people involved in this situation that can lead to some complications. So one of the ways that we can make sure to try to prevent some of these complications is by having a written, signed, filed agreement about everything going forward in the future. Child support, spousal support, expenses, tuition, living costs, settlement monies, pensions, things going forward with children, holidays, calendars, so that new people who come in on the scene aren't able to exert their influence and change things for your kids. It's very important to have a thorough agreement about the future for the kids going forward, and not just till they're 18. You know, they've got post-secondary education, then they've got weddings, then they've got grandchildren. All those things are included in this very important settlement agreement that you will have. So I am a certified divorce coach, and I'm going to talk in the next video about the benefits that will happen. Now, your relationship with your spouse, if you have children, is not ending. You need to be sure you understand that, because you're still your children's parents, and you're still, in essence, you're still your children's family, even if you never speak to one another again. So a relationship does not end. If you think that you'll never have to see or deal with this person again and you have children together, you are mistaken. This is a restructuring of the family. So I'm just moving these pork ribs into the crock pot. I'm going to turn the crock pot on low. I'm going to add half a bottle of just pre-made barbecue sauce, and I'm going to cook these in the crock pot for 4 to 5 hours on low. Now, I heard someone say, do we add water, or do we add juice, or do we add liquid? And I heard the answer was, no, we don't want to slow boil these ribs. We want to slow cook these ribs. So I'm not adding any extra moisture. Plugging it in, turning it to low, and covering it up. So thanks for watching this video of me preparing slow-cooked pork ribs. You can do this with beef ribs. You can probably do this with chicken thighs too. The slow cooking is the key because it makes them so tender. Talk to you again soon.